Welcome to this episode of Fucking About in the Shed with Matt. What we're going to be doing today, or what I'm going to be doing and what you're going to be looking at, is what's in this box here and this box here. A while ago I decided that my current router sled setup was inadequate, which probably being a bit generous at any rate. So I've ordered some bits off the internet, and we're going to have a look at what they are and how they go together, and then have a crack at making it do something useful. Come along for a walk, or a journey, or a look, or something. So this is the smaller of the two packages. A bit of a open up on the sides here, stuff on the end. Alright, what do we got in here? So you can see here, these are a block for a linear rail, and that will slide on what's in here. Have a look here, we can see the profile. Now these ones here are a little over $100 delivered. It's extruded aluminium base and what looks like to be steel on the top, and then we've got this slides on there. A little bit of movement that way, but seems to be pretty good. So not terribly expensive. Feels pretty solid. Obviously I've just taken it out of the bag, so we don't know exactly how good it's going to be, but for the spend and by the feel of it, my immediate impression is it's going to do what I want well. Righto, here we are with a bigger box, and these are, I think these are 1.8 long, which is the length of my work table. These ones come with instructions or specifications perhaps. This one comes pre-assembled, so we've got the thingies and the rails already assembled. A little bit more packaging. These are similar construction, extruded aluminium base and steel rail. Righto, so the first challenge, you can see here out of the 4 holes on the block, put the cross piece on, I've got one hole that lines up, and then on the other side here, obviously the width is slightly different. Now I think 2 will probably be strong enough to keep everything sort of all lined up, so we'll drill extra hole, probably drill a pair so I can then sit it on the edge here, and then 2 here, 2 on the other one, 2 on the other one, and that'll all bolt up, and then I'll have my X and Y axis, so to speak. Right, so this will give you a bit of an idea of what we are looking to achieve. These will move back and forth like that. There will be a plate or a mount in between these to go back and forth like this. Router sits in there. Winner winner, chicken dinner. Clearance should be about right. Should be able to have, this here may have to go up a bit higher. I think we'll get a tape and we'll measure that up. That's like 50mm clearance, so I'd probably want to have 70 or 80. Now, do I put a block under the long rails, or do I lift these up? If I lift these up, I can probably get better hole alignment for the mounts to the longer rails. That probably makes the most sense at this point. my drawing, my design for how stuff's going to go together. Hope it makes sense. What we've got is a bar across here. It is blue RHS. It's 26.5 long. It's actually 26.7.5 long, but we'll have a bit of overlap. That will be the functional width, I suppose. And then 2 pieces of angle, which will form a Z shape like thus when welded together, and that will sit on top of the blocks on the upper part, bolted here and here, and then the router will sit on here, and there will be a second one over here, and it'll sit between the two, be screwed down, and that will give me the 75mm clearance between the table and the underside of the X-axis, but also bring the router down to a point where I have control over the depth of cut using the router's depth control. So the next step is weld these up and drill 2, 4, 6, 8 holes in the blue jobbies. Also, I found some longer M6 bolts which will go through the, that worked, didn't it? They will go through all the way and into the block because the supply bolts are obviously not long enough.
You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
Righto, so moment of truth. Has my plan kind of sort of worked as I had hoped? So, have a look here. Got bigger holes pulled out there. They won't go through, but they will go through in there. And just pop through like that, and then they will lock in, and that's all okay, honky dory. Probably easier actually to put them in now. And then we've got the longer ones for the other end, which go there, and they actually go through the bottom rails of the top axis, and hopefully that will work as it is working in my head. And that'll go down there like that. Lovely. So we're going to assemble it up now and see whether it does what it should.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just me. Your body, your mind. Baby, you whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh.
Right, so it would appear bolts need to be shorter. So I'm going to go and find a solution for that problem. I reckon a couple of spring washers will give me the reduction in length I need without mucking around too much. So we just got to try again. That's going to be right. They don't fit in that way. Or do they? Oh no, there we go. Just got to do it right.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight.
Righto. Next, get the X-axis rails into place, and if I've done everything properly and it all lines up, this will go down into there like that, go down into there like that. Not going to use a rattle gun straight up, just want to get these two to line up and get the threads to just pull in a little bit. That seems to sit reasonably well. Put the second one on. Over there, here. So far everything has lined up reasonably okay. Pretty fucking good. I think that was probably more luck than good management to get it that square, but I'll take it. Right, so it looks like I got shortchanged on the bolts because there's 7 left and I thought I had 16, but anyway, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is use these 2 silver M6s I found in my stash of goodness, and that will allow me to get it all together. So we will do that, and I could have just used one, but if I'm perfectly honest, you know, my little OCD tick went, no, it can't have an odd number, so we'll have an even number, and at least my tiny brain will be happy enough with the way things look.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just me, your body, and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain.
I've had a bit of a think, and in the interest of tying these 2 components here together to give me a bit of structural rigidity, and keeping everything simple, I've ditched the idea of putting the little angle Z bits down here. Instead, I'm going to take these in this positioning, but set them underneath there, and that will be the correct width to accommodate my router. What I've got here is a base plate, a spare base plate. These, my other router sled had this sliding in a groove, so the action that this cradle does on this one was literally just done sitting in some angle, and what that did was wear here out and created a mil or thereabout of movement or inaccuracy. So I've got spares of these anyway. A lot of words for a small amount of info. So that will then line up with the holes in the base plate, so I can bolt the router to this. It'll tie the two components together and keep everything sort of how I want it and simple at the same time. So as you can see, I've got this square, these are squared up now on the rails. Using this piece here, very carefully putting that there like that, and then getting a clamp, hold that into place and hold the rails and blocks and all of the pieces there square and square, and then I know that this goes in alignment with the edge of the bolts, and we'll put that in, have a bit of a double check underneath. I'll clip that into place, we'll tack it in, we'll swap everything around, tack the other side in, and then I'll pull this off and seam it up on my welding table. Righto, clamped into place, ready to go. I've got an old leather glove, well, my usual welding glove, to mask a little bit of splatter down there, and we'll tack it up and then move things around.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
Now, I am by no means a fabulous welder, but we're going to do this kind of slowly, I think, just in case any heat moves the alignment, particularly the 90 degrees. Don't want that sort of to twist out, so I'm going to stitch it a couple more times, flip it, stitch it, come back.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, oh, oh. kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Well, they're not pretty, but they'll certainly do what I need. I'll get some of that splatter off, and we'll do a test run a bit later. Eventually this will get painted. Still got to drill holes and stuff as well.
Giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me You're chilling wind and rain.
You will see that I have countersunk the underside a little bit, just so that it sits a little bit neater. Otherwise, it's about as good as it gets. Alright, now chuck it on the jobby, throw some bolts in it, wherever they went, there somewhere, and hopefully we are good to go. I managed to find the missing black one from previous, where I said I was one short. That turned up, and so what I've done is I've put 4 of the black ones aside now, and am using 4 short silver ones, 2 on each side, and as previously noted, that sits well with my OCD. Tidy. Pretty happy with that. You can hear a little bit of noise there in the rail. And squirt some grease or something in there, a bit of oil, something like that. Righto, so what we've got here is ready to screw down. Now, it's hanging over the edge, and the reason it's hanging over the edge will be apparent a little later in this video. I've got some 8G20 screws. This is form ply. I've got 2 layers here. The top layer, the idea is I'm going to screw this down to the top layer using 20mm screws, which should all clear. Then I can leave the sled itself on the top layer, pick it up, stand it up in the corner, still have my work table. That's the idea. Challenge will be finding the corner. Anyway, let's chuck some screws in. Right, so now you can see why we have this overhang here, because this thing here is a monster of sorts. Not the biggest log I've played with, big enough for the table and the sled as it is. What I have done is, on the underside is clean it up a little bit, get it reasonably flat. It cupped a bit during the drying process. I milled this 3 years ago, so should be dry enough. At the moment it's around 80, sort of 75 up the end, as you can see here, because that's the clearance I have, and then further through bits of it are about 100. We're going to figure out what to do about getting it flat enough to get under the jig. Then we're going to level it out, and we're going to come over here and we're going to make this here a nice soft curve that'll tuck in under a bit, and coffee table things. Well, moment of truth. Does it work? We're about to find out. I have set it so that it clears, comes all the way here, and I'll come down for a bit of a jobby in here. That is set to be about a 3mm puck below here. Clear that. I can take this off there. Anyway, give it a crack, we'll see what happens.
Baby, you give me ice and fire.
Well, pretty darn happy with that. Very smooth, pretty well aligned too, which if I'm honest, I'm a little surprised given that my engineering skills are perhaps subpar, but that's pretty smooth, pretty easy to use, pretty rigid actually, no flex, which is a big deal. So I'm just going to crack on. Thank you for watching. Please chuck me a like and a subscribe, and hang about. Sometime soon there'll be another video, perhaps more interesting than this one. Take care.